What we're focusing on this month is the developing connected network map. That's the one that is currently visible on the website. So I'm going to walk you through that. It did get updated this past month based on feedback from the last gathering. So I want to walk you through that and then have you play in the map a little bit and give some feedback. And then the other version of the map is called an impact network map. And so I'll talk about that and hopefully get some insights from you because we will in our December event. We have opened that one up publicly. So it's posted on LinkedIn. Anyone can join us. We already have 100 people RSVP'd. 100 people are not going to come. We get about 20% of those who RSVP to attend. And so that's still a pretty good number of people, and they'll be non-HRC members. So we'll be shining a light on those who are on the connected network map. Again, the one that's visible on the website, which Judy and Rosanna and Jennifer and Paul, you're on that map. Vic, I don't know if you got my emails, but you'll
I
be
did,
on. Okay,
and I'm going to
okay.
update for you the details.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Good, good, good. And so that will be our opportunity to kind of shine a light on all of you as well. So the purpose, I see that Jen is in the waiting room. I'll let Paul and Jennifer handle that. The purpose today is to show you that connected networks map and discuss the coming impact network map. Our efforts in these maps, to me, it's all about visibility and aligning to the mission of HRC, which is to identify, connect, support, and illuminate the change makers, or as you know, I call y'all ruckus makers. But this tool gives us that ability to visualize, to share who's out there, whether you're a network, an HRC member or not, but also more importantly, to shine a light on the work that's being done and hopefully help to foster connections. So this tool is really one of our primary methods of serving our mission. The connected network map is our starting point. And like I said, we have that out there visibly right now. So I want to be able to show that today. But before we go there, I'm curious in a few words, what comes to mind when you think of network or connection when it pertains to this work that we're doing to transform or reinvent healthcare?
Well, I thought what you saw, I guess it was 2 weeks ago, looked great. A way of finding people that are open to be contacted and what they're interested in talking about. Um, and knowing it's okay to get in touch with them through HRC, and that seemed excellent. So you're already way ahead of anything I had in mind.
Mhm. Oh, good, good. So I know a couple people joined us just as I was asking that question. So I'll re-ask it. We're kind of orienting our time together around what it means to you to be networked or connected, what that means. Jen, thank you. I see that you say, I think for you, it's strengthening connections, open the doors for us to go further, faster. That's right. And together, I
Yeah.
love that you said together. I emphasize that very much. Yes. Rosanna, integration, synergy, and resources. Yeah. I love seeing all these faces coming in. That's great. Judy, you agree with Jen? That's great. Yeah, when I was putting out the invitation, was it yesterday or the day before? And I'm like, okay, we've got Jennifer Wright and Jennifer Taylor and Jennifer Beach. It's going to be the Jennifer Club today.
Yeah.
Jennifer just said that in the chat. That's
Mm.
awesome. All right. So I am going to show you the current iteration of the connected network map that's on the website. And so let me share this. I'm just moving things around between my multiple
Okay, because
screens.
I've tried to get on it on the website and I can't.
Oh, well, good. That's good feedback. So let's go there today, and then you can let me know what's going on for you, Judy. So I'm just moving things around on my screens. Just a sec. Okay. So we're going to go to the connected networks map. So I'm going to click on this from the website, and then I'm going to put that into the chat. And so this is, and I'm just going to make this bigger. This is our website. So this, which that's not our HRC community platform. That's a different space. This is our business website. And we have linked the connected networks map out there. The purpose being here is this is kind of the same as when other organizations might list, here are those people we're connected with or those organizations we're connected with, and they have the logos for those organizations on a page. Same idea, but we're making ours interactive. And so based on what we heard last month, we removed there was originally a kind of like a presentation up here that you had to click through. We removed that, and we're starting with 3 short videos that are how-tos. They're very short, and you can click on them and watch them. They're embedded, so they'd watch right here, or you could open it up into a bigger screen. And then it says scroll down to access the map. So down below is the interactive map. This version here on our website is the map. You can engage in the map here. So if I were to hover, you're going to see I'm hovering over service quality solutions, and you're going to get that insight to what Marlene is doing there. And if you clicked on that, then you would get to the side and get rid of, I don't know, there we go. You would get her profile, so more information along the left-hand panel. So this one is a version you can engage in. It's embedded on our website, so the real estate is smaller, and thus we've got a link to full screen view here. So if you link onto that, it's the same map. It's just now going to take up your full screen and be able to see things a little better. So Judy, I'm curious, from the link I put in chat, were you able to see the map and touch?
Yes.
Excellent. Good. Good. So
Yeah, I
this,
gave up on my attempt.
okay. So this map is in is set up so that we can shine a light on those organizations who, one, are members of HRC, and two, are in different levels of relationship with us. And so we've called these and now I have to remember where I was. Okay. So on, on the map, what you'll see is you have a couple different, well, you have a variety of things that you can do in the map. I have a mouse that has a roller bar, which means if I move that roll, I can scroll in and scroll out. If you don't have the same, you have zoom features up here that you can scroll in and scroll out so that you can see a little bit more about the organizations who are out here. When you hover, it will pull up a small version of the profile, and these are interactive. I can go right to Rosanna's website from that element that was featured here. And if I click on her profile, it's going to open a much more extensive review of Rosanna and the business that she has connected with us. And so you'll be able to see here, you can find her on YouTube. You can find LinkedIn for Rosanna, emails. And so this gives a really good overview of that information we have about organizations and helps you to connect with them. If they've shared with us, typically in a spotlight with us, those answers to ask for what you need and offer what you can, those are listed here as well. And so here you can find what is, in this case, Rosanna looking for or needing. So she's asking for what she needs. And then what can she offer? And she offers exceptional training in data communication and storytelling. I really recommend that you go to her website and see that training and take advantage of it. I've gone through it. It's exceptional. And then if somebody's done a spotlight with us, when you link here, it's going to open you up to the YouTube page for them and their spotlight so you can get to know them even better. The other thing, so you'll notice here, I'm going up, there's an X mark up here. And when I close that, I get back to this profile for the map itself. You'll also notice that if I click on the map, I lose that side profile. But if I click on the 3 dots to the side here, I can get that back. So that either lets you close it or open it. There are 3 views for the map currently. The one we're looking at right now is called Connections, and it has some color coding to it to give us some insight about who or how are these organizations connected. And you'll see a legend down here. So a cross-sector catalyst, that is somebody like, and I think she's on with us, Susie. Susie offers support for individuals such as you in a number of things. She's actually working with us right now with HRC, helping us to ensure that our story, our message is clear and concise across her website, our LinkedIn page, and anything else we do. Susie is very talented at that. And so she might be somebody that you want to reach out to. And what it means by cross-sector catalyst, Susie does not just work with healthcare. She works with all sorts of industries. And so she goes across different sectors, but she does serve, of course, healthcare. We also have healthcare aligned supporters. We've got metapreneurs, and then also on here is, there we go, B-side learning. So that's Jennifer, and metapreneurs, of course, is Michelle. Those organizations are more healthcare specific. So helping startups, entrepreneurs, or others working in the healthcare space to do what they do. They themselves are not necessarily working to transform healthcare. They're working to support those who are transforming healthcare. And then the rest of the individuals out here are those individuals, such as yourselves, who are diving into trying to do something to improve healthcare. The other 2 markers here is exploring awareness. So what that means is, and you'll see that these are described on the side here as well. So exploring awareness means we know about each other. We're doing some collaborative work of type. So for instance, joining each other's networks and developing awareness of each other. But we're not really collaborating yet. We're kind of getting to know each other still, but we're beyond just that awareness stage. And then growing collaboration are those organizations that we're actually starting to do things together. So when I think about Medicine Forward, there's a lot that we've been doing with Medicine Forward over the years. And so we're actually diving into some collaborative endeavors. And so this view enables us to see how we're in relationship together. The other 2 views you'd get to from, again, on the side panel. I'm going to walk you through. If I had clicked on somebody like Zena, I can't see that side informative panel, but I need to just click the X up here and I'll get that back. And now I can go to one of the other views. And I'm going to go to the filter on ask and offers. So this is any of those organizations who have stated their asks and offers of the community. You can now go here and find that. So the filters are here. If I were to click on the asks, you'll see that we've categorized those. So if I went to, let's say they're asking for some visibility or amplification, you'll see who those organizations are. And you can click on one. Let's go to Rosanna again. And now down here, you're going to see specifically what she's asking for in that. So we've categorized some of her ask. And now you can go through here and see exactly what she wants. And she needs some referrals, or she's looking for some invitations. And so you can see here what those are. If I unfilter that, now I can look and try the offers. And let's see here, if we go to offers of training and education, code U. We just did a shine a light with Tamara and Phyllis. And so they have offered quite a bit of things. So you can see that they have quite a bit of training that they're offering. And so that's available here. So if we go now to the filters support type, filters by support type. What type of support do the organizations offer? Their focus area. Focus area means what is the type of difference that they're trying to make? What improvement in healthcare are they specifically focusing on, or the population served? So this gives you 3 different things you can filter on for the organizations. Again, the filters are right here. I'm going to show you how this is really useful as you're trying to find different organizations. So maybe you have an organization that you're looking for somebody who does leadership and team development. So you click on that. That's their area of focus. And the type of support, maybe what you're needing is you're needing some training and education. And so now what you've got here is a filter. These organizations offer training and education, and they're focused on leadership and team development. So now you can click in and learn more about them, and you have their contact information in order to reach out to them. So I'm going to pause here. That's an overview, a real quick overview of what we've created out here. I'm curious about any questions you might have, thoughts you might have, and then I want to give you a moment to get out there and play with it. And then we'll again come back to questions and thoughts. But before you play for a little bit, yeah, Rosanna.
I have a question. So, with regard to my profile, since I've adopted a new role with my current client and my focus has shifted slightly, is there an opportunity to update that? Is one question I had.
Yep.
Because it is shifted. Secondly, I really do have, as you were at the end, 2 organizations. I have Periscope BPA, which is still a data storytelling hub. However, in my role as executive director of the North Valley Health Education Foundation, I'm actually really focused on rural health connection. So
Yeah.
I have this kind of split. I have 2 jobs and 2 roles. Can I have 2 profiles? Because
Yes.
what I seek from North Valley Health Education Foundation is very different.
Yeah.
So anyway, just
Yeah.
a thought as
Yeah.
we're talking about that. And that's very
Yeah.
recent for me.
Yeah. And you'll see on the map that Jeff Pearson actually has 2 of those nodes out there. He has Hydro with Hope, and he has Invisible Conditions. So
Okay.
yes, you can have multiples.
So how
And
would I do
yes.
that? How would so I can go in and just create a profile for North Valley Health Education Foundation with my role as executive director?
I'm going to send you a document to fill in that information for me, and then I'll
Okay,
get you
great.
on the map.
Right, because I really want to connect with people like about rural health
Yeah.
and healthcare pipeline, workforce
Yeah.
pipeline for that
Yeah.
specifically. Yeah.
And I'm
Great.
excited to hear that, Rosanna, because one of the things I'm working on right now is the impact network map. So I'm showing you today the connected network map. The impact network map is different. And we actually have quite a group out there that I'm starting to feature that are focused on rural health. And so that would be nice to be able to plug you and your organization into that.
Great. Thank you so much, Denise. This
Of
is great.
course.
It's such a great reminder to go in, to update it and
Yeah.
keep growing this network.
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
Hey, Denise.
Yeah.
Even though I have met Jen Wright before, I wasn't finding a LinkedIn connection to Jen. When I went to LinkedIn, I found so many Jennifers that it makes this group look small. Uh, and uh, and so I went to the map instead and found which company she's connected to, and then found her on LinkedIn without any trouble.
Good.
So you use the map to go find a connection that you weren't otherwise able to make.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. And yes, you're
Yeah,
right. It is hard to find Jen because there's lots of Jen Wrights on LinkedIn. Susie, did I see your hand up?
Yes, I
Oh.
would love to give a plug to the tool you've chosen. Mighty Networks does a great job of the profiles. And in fact, Jennifer, yes, you'll enjoy it once you do your profile because you may have seen this, but it will automatically connect you with people. You can click on anyone and then it'll tell you what you have in common with that person. And so I was like, I gotta meet this Judy Berry, fellow Minnesotan. And my mom just recently got diagnosed with mild dementia. So there are
Oh,
several
Oh,
no.
reasons.
my.
And I published a book, and it looks like you're wanting to write a book. So anyway, lots of reasons to talk to Judy, but nice job, Denise,
Thank
on the
you.
platform.
Thank you. And just an FYI, what I'm showing you, this is built on Kumu. Mighty Networks does do some, it uses AI to look at your bios, the information you put on your profiles to try to tell you what you have in alignment, but that is a different tool. So, two different things there. And yeah, that is important to specify where we are in minimally viable product mode. And to be able to do what we're trying to do, we're having to use a couple different solutions. All right. So I'm going to let you have a little bit of time to play. So I want to first make sure, does everybody know where they're going to play? Anybody have any questions? Okay. Well, let's take about 5 minutes to play. And if you have questions, just go ahead and call them out because other people probably have the questions as well.
So when Susie mentioned geriatrics and dementia, it suddenly occurred to me that maybe I should have my own profile with my ridiculous resume.
Mhm.
I have SyncMD there, but that's not what I do with most of my time. Did anyone care? I had 25 years as a medical director of nursing homes and a certificate of added quality and qualifications in geriatrics. Maybe people should know that. Should I put up my own profile?
Yes.
Mhm.
Sounds relevant to me.
Yeah, I'm getting a yes.
100% you should.
Okay.
Denise, where do okay, I just clicked into HRC. So where do I go?
Yes, let me put the link. So I'm going to,
I can see the link to the Impact Network map, but that's not where
oh, and that's an old one. Yes, I was just thinking about that today. I need to do that. So I am dropping in the chat the link to our website, Rosanna. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you what you're doing with that. So from the website, if you're looking at my screen, you go to the Connected Networks map, and then you scroll down past those how-to videos, and here's the map. You can use it on our website, or I recommend do link to full screen so that you've got more real estate to be able to look at the map. Did that get you where you need to go?
Yeah, I'm trying to get it right. Let's see. I was having a problem cutting and pasting that link, but I got it. Oh, here we are.
Good.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay, Denise, I'm not finding where to add a profile.
No, you can't do that directly from here, Paul, in this version. So I'll send you a form to fill out.
Oh, so it's not on the Mighty Network either.
No, no.
Good. That means I couldn't find something that isn't there. That's even better.
I'm sorry. I should have specified that.
No, that's okay. And Jennifer wants a form too. At least Jennifer Taylor, one of the Jennifers. We can have a separate map for all the Jennifers.
Mm,
Or maybe we
yes.
can broaden it to J's, the J group or something,
No, there may not be enough space for that.
And yes, Jennifer, I'll send you the form afterwards.
Well, Denise, as a complete insider, I want to tell you I'm really impressed with what you put together here, and I know you've done all the work. So much appreciated. It's really pretty robust.
Well, thank you. Just wait until you see what I've been working on for the
Oh,
Impact Network.
I do want to ask our audience, is anybody seen anything that remotely resembles this in one of their other networks?
No.
Right. That's what I think. That's what we've been planning to
And
do.
even paid networks, they don't even have this way of filtering and finding like healthcare or certain subsets of healthcare or stuff like that. It's really been difficult for a lot of them on Circle and Mighty and other platforms. So this is amazing.
Mhm.
It's
Thank you.
our intention to build something that no one else has got. So
Really?
if there's something more that it needs to have, this is why we're having meetings. Feedback is more than welcome. It's your network, not ours.
Indeed. So the 5 minutes went up, but I'm curious, do you want more time?
Oh,
No? Okay. So from your exploration, one, you can see that there's not that many organizations there yet. There's 29. We're envisioning that this will get much bigger. On the Impact Network map, we'll have ways of identifying those who are members of HRC versus those who are not yet. The idea is members of HRC get access to the Impact Network map. So we'll have people who aren't members on there because we want you to be able to find those organizations because we're aware of them. We know they're doing great work, but only members are going to be able to use that map, that version of the map. And that version will show connections. It'll show insights in regards to how organizations are working together, or show gaps in we're not yet working together, but my gosh, we're working on very similar things. How do we start to help them to find each other and to collaborate and to lift on this very hefty work that we're trying to do, but to lift together instead of individually. So that's really the primary difference there in regards to access to the map. And so that's where we're going to encourage people to become members, to actually join HRC on the public or network member level to be able to access that map and get some of those insights. I'm curious, when you think about the value that can come from a map such as this. So there's some information already out there, but what else could be valuable from a map such as this, either on the public site, so shining a light on each of you, and or in that more robust version, which I know I'm just kind of generically speaking to. Hopefully next month you'll join us and get a little bit more of a view of what that's starting to look like. But what types of things would be of most value to you?
Wow. I only looked at 4 or 5 circles so far, and I already found 2 that I would like to speak to. So that's very valuable to me.
Good.
Denise, what do you think about linking the profiles on the map to marketplace entries?
Tell me more about that.
So, for example, let's say one of the entrants in the map also has a marketplace entry. It might be worth highlighting in a way that says, for example, This is the profile of this organization or initiative. And this is a brief text blurb. This is a link to their website. And this is a link to their listing within HRC on the HRC marketplace. Just maybe one extra
Oh,
link.
thank you. Yes, you're right. We do have a marketplace, a place where you can advertise on the HRC platform what your offerings are. So, yes, that would be good to add there, YL. I love that.
And it should roughly be easy to do. It's just an extra line.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like Rosanna's idea of being able to self-edit because it will one it we everybody will make sure that their profile is up to date, and two, it saves you the trouble of having to collect all of that and editing every time somebody has a change, especially when this becomes a network of hundreds of people or
Yeah,
organizations,
yeah,
which it will be at some point.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
I totally agree. Looking at the methods of doing that. But yes, at minimally viable, I have to control it. I do not want to be the one having to do that every time. Yeah.
Yeah.
The category names, cross-sector catalyst, exploring awareness, and so on.
Yeah.
I think they're very good categories, but I think the names of them could maybe be a little bit more readable. Like
Uh-huh.
looking at them at first, I'm not quite sure what they mean. So it might be helpful to just iterate them with ChatGPT and say, just come up with some synonyms that might be easier for people to grasp.
Great.
Also, my one other comment about the visual aspect of the map
Yeah.
is how are we making use of those circles other than showing the logo? How is this adding value versus just having an Excel sheet with filters? I think it has a lot of power to visually show and showcase that everybody's doing. Then this is probably not a minimally viable product stage where we can explore that further. But I think it's something we can think of. So, for example, having the same group of organizations here versus somewhere else where it's just a text-based listing. Why would they come here? It looks cool that there are all the circles and everything and the color coding, but I feel like it has a lot of potential to grow even better and to become more interesting for the organizations to join just because they like how it looks.
Yeah, I think you're right, While the impact network map, the visualizations that we'll have there it'll tell a story. So there'll be a way to kind of walk through what is it that I'm looking at. And so that's what I'm hoping to be able to do in these sessions in the future is be able to say, from this data that we have, let me tell you a story based on what I can see. And then we can be able to say, there's elements of the plot that are missing here. How do we fill those in? Yeah. And a static sheet, even one that you can filter an Excel sheet, it's not going to be able to help you do that. Visualizations add such power. Yeah.
You got me wondering about the, I guess, follow through, for lack of a better term. So if, like, for example, if Susie and Judy actually meet and they chat and whatever comes of that, how does that get added to this map so that it's dynamic and it's changing and you can see and of course it may be a couple of months later that something comes, it might not be right away. So I guess I'm kind of turning over in my head like, and everyone meets and then what?
Yeah.
How do you capture it?
Yeah. I love that question, Jennifer, because one of the things that I really like about one of the tools that we're exploring right now, it's called a partner CPRM. So it's also this visualization, but it kind of has a CRM attached to it. But the nice thing about the visualization in there is you get this ability to see how your network has changed over time. So I could be looking at what did Q4 of 25 look at like versus Q1 of 26 and Q2 of 26. So you can see how it's shifting and how those relationships are being built.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
This seems to me an opportune time to put in a plug for the book, The Starship and the Starfish and the Spider, because in open networks you'll never know what's going on, but in an open network there's a lot more going on than if it's centralized, and so those connections that are out there may or may not become visible, but it makes the network itself far more robust. And
How do you
similarly,
get to that?
when people are allowed to edit their own input,
Oh,
it makes everything easier for everybody. And it also makes those connections easier. And as people change, it's easier too. And we'll get there, but it's a work in progress. And right now it has to be centralized because it's minimally viable, right?
Yeah, we're testing and learning.
Right.
So we've got to understand it well enough to then be able to say, here's how to do it. Yeah.
So in the two loops model, we bring together innovators to accelerate the evolution of a new paradigm. That's actually what's happening in this meeting. We're accelerating the evolution of the network map by bringing in members to make their own map better.
mhm.
That it's a recursive loop. That's what's going on. And you all are actually sales agents without knowing it. And the price is like nothing to join the network. But as you go and meet people outside this network, you can tell them what we have on the inside. It's going to be basically, don't have to be told. It's just going to happen. It's an emergent property.
Jen, had you started to say something? Jen, right?
No, sorry, Denise. I just didn't catch the name of what you called the part. So we're using SumApp to make our own network map and have people going in doing that stuff. But it was just I haven't heard the term that you used of that what you're using to
Visualize.
match that change over time. What was that?
So yes. So we've played with SumApp and then visualizing from SumApp into Kumu. What
Okay.
I've showed
Yep.
you on our website, that is Kumu.
Kumu, yeah. We
But
have
what
that
we're
as well.
currently playing with is a tool called Partner CPRM. It's from a company called Visual Network Labs. So
Okay.
they also do data visualization. One of the things that we're very interested in their tool is they have surveys already built into them. One of the surveys enables us to do a trust measure. And so how are these different organizations from the feedback of the community itself, how trusted are they? And then we can track that over time as well.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah. One of the things that we're really open to is being open to a large group of people joining, all sorts of different organizations joining. And we also want to be seen as an entity that helps kind of bridge that layer of trust, right? That that there are organizations connected to HRC that are trusted. And then why are they trusted? And so we're playing with how do we do that? And Partner seems to be a tool that might be able to enable us to do that.
Mhm.
All right, I'm just looking at my notes. Yeah, that's right, Paul. So I think I already asked you that. Looks like without looking at my notes, I was able to go through most of everything. I'm curious in regards to what would you say is what next? We've captured some of that in regards to the tool. But one of the things that we're seeking to do is how do we articulate to those that we wish to serve, those that we hope to connect to HRC and thus to you, how do we communicate this to them?
People are looking for ways to network with other professionals, and this is sort of a unique network with great professionals, and you have really good features for helping people connect with each other. Maybe that's part of it.
Yeah, and Vic, tagging on to that, one of the things that we want to be able to show is the relationship. So you might be connected. If you look at my LinkedIn, I have over 20,000 connections. I don't possibly know 20,000 people, right? At that level, or even at all. So those are very thin line connections. If they are like dotted lines with big dot lines in between the dots, right? What we want to be able to do is say, okay, how do we move people from I'm aware of, so I've got a thin line connection, to that relationship is growing. Now, you're not going to possibly grow a relationship with everybody, but those relationships that you're growing are relevant and purposeful and producing outcomes as a result of. And so that's one of the things that we want to do is how do we build those relationships? So how do we help you to find and then to actually start to build those relationships? So events like this, we see as really important so that you can get to know each other. And those networking conversations that we tag on to the end of our events so that you can have at least a little bit of time with individuals. I used to call it speed networking. It's kind of like speed dating. You've got a few minutes, get to know a little bit and say, yes, I want to connect and have a one-on-one, or no, maybe not. But how do we help you to find those people who you can deepen a relationship with, a meaningful, that this really makes sense for you personally or for you in your business?
I think as part of these speed networking events,
Mm.
maybe a slightly more intentional way of doing the speed networking. So
Uh-huh.
instead of random connections for the half hour, if we can set up maybe half the people with to be in rooms, and then maybe they can label the rooms with a few words. I do this, I'm looking for that, talk to me if you're interested. And then the rest of the group can pick which room they want to go in, because some people will want to have very specific connections to very specific people who do similar things. For example, you, me, and Paul, we talk, and Jennifer, we talk together on meetings. We were really in the circle, and we discuss things routinely.
Mm.
If in the speed networking stage, I connect with Paul, for example, we're talking along the same lines of what we've talked about before. And that's not a new connection. That doesn't lead to, it's a great conversation, but it doesn't lead to what this very particular session wants to lead to.
Mm.
It's more like I'm thinking people have booths, and then interested people will come to that particular booth. I don't know if Zoom will let us do something like that. I haven't explored that specifically, but I think a more intentional speed networking would be more beneficial to the group as a whole.
Mm.
And then outside of this, it would be the newsletter, the shout outs, the reposting that you already do between you and Jennifer. That's a lot of organic advertising that's going on there.
Mm.
And then your networks will see what you posted, and then people who are interested will seek out that person you posted about.
Mm.
Those two ways, I think, would be very helpful,
Mm.
or some version of them.
It's actually a both and, while that suggestion is focused, and focus is good, but then
Yeah.
focus doesn't allow for violating expectations that you meet somebody that you had no idea you wanted to know.
Right.
So they both work, and
True.
it's not an either or, it's a both and, as is often the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, Paul, that's a really good call out. Is somebody may be coming to an event with their professional hat on, and their professional hat says, I do this. but they
Right.
actually have an interest and or skills to offer in a different avenue. And if we only go into a room based on something, we're not going to
Honestly,
uncover that.
I'm speaking for myself because pretty much I get ideas from talking about people who are doing something different, and I'm an ideas guy. So randomly running into people has just been delightful for the last 18, 20 months since I joined you. And
Mm,
it's really altered my life.
mm,
And it's just ridiculously robust. So I had one other idea, and that is you showed us today how to get through the website directly to this map. I think we should tell the entire membership they can do that on their own.
mhm.
It's too easy. So you just the folks who couldn't attend today, we could just blast out an email and say, by the way, if you missed this, you can do it on your own.
Mm. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, Susie.
In relation to that question of how can you share more about the map and get more people interested in HRC in general, this may be a post MVP suggestion, but I'm picturing some kind of train the trainer model, which is very similar to the training you just did. What I'm picturing is you could have a 30, anywhere from 5 minute to 30-minute training, don't know exactly, where you just teach people what the map is, what HRC does, how to use the map. And that could be something that ambassadors could go to apply to speak at conferences and just do that.
Mm.
And maybe you could add a few more learning objectives in there, but that alone is powerful. So that's something I'm thinking about how you could spread the word is to just show people the map. It's powerful.
Thank
I
you.
agree with that. I think I would add on to that a little bit in terms of, and so what? So what has happened? I believe in the power of story, and I feel like some of the things we're seeing in our network is I had someone meet someone they've never met before, and they now sit on each other's board and support each other's. Like so having like telling the story of the power of collaboration by having these randomized or intentional facilitated events and being able to capture that story, I wanted to see like here's how this can make a difference. Just adding that to them.
Yeah, I love that. Susie, Judy, were you going to say something?
No, I just happened to see Dawn show up on
Oh,
the.
yes. Susie, you were at this event last month and gave us the thought about the videos. And so we did create 3 short videos that if you look at that Connected Networks page, those 3 are up there.
Oh,
We
good.
did share those on the HRC platform as a share out. And then we also put that in the newsletter that went out this past Wednesday. And so we will continue to feature that. And what we hope to do is in the newsletter and in other ways to be able to say, if you haven't looked at the map lately, here's
Mhm.
a little something new for you to go check out. And so we'll
Yeah.
start to do that. Susie, you helped us
Okay.
think about
Yeah.
that.
Okay. I just had a call from somebody this past week that evidently knew about what I did with the ranch, but didn't know that it was shut down by people
Mm,
that bought it.
mm.
And they wanted to do a franchise.
Oh,
And I didn't have a clue how that would happen with something that really isn't there.
mm.
I kind of figured that that was a no-go, but I got back to them just to say that I had a lot of ways I could help them do it.
Mm.
So evidently people are still looking at it.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good. So we have 7 minutes. And if you'll let me go just a little tangential to what we've been talking about, but to ask a different question of you in regards to connecting different networks. And these networks are ones that are specific in that they've created their own community space. So whether it's using Mighty Networks or Circle or some other platform, we have actually found a number of healthcare organizations who have done this. So Medicine Forward built on Mighty Networks, just as we built on Mighty Networks. There, I think we know at least 6 other organizations who built on Mighty, a number who's built on Circle. But these organizations they tend to be focused on making a difference in healthcare. They're often asking the same individuals to join these different networks. So HRC is reaching out to this group and saying, join our network. And Medicine Forward is reaching out to very similar, as well as Xena Health Network and others. But what we're doing is we're asking them to join our individual network, and it's a siloed network. They're not connected. So if I join one of those networks and I want to contribute in there, my contribution there doesn't spread across any of those other networks. Mm-hmm. So we've asked a number of those organizations to join us in conversation. I temporarily called it building bridges. And so how do we bridge across those siloed community spaces? And I'm curious about your own experience with networks that are reaching out to you that you've perhaps joined or not joined. And I call it, to me, we're all just creating a lot of noise. And I fear that we're actually diminishing engagement than ampling it up. And I'm curious about your thoughts and your experience.
I'll just say what came to my mind. It's certainly not a final thought, and I know you guys are into exploration. I see you, Denise, you're so thorough, and I'm sure Paul too. You're big thinkers. My thought is you don't have to solve that problem right now. And I do think it's a good question, so I'm not saying don't answer it. I would just encourage you to continue to figure out what do you do uniquely well and keep doing it. And stay in communication with the other groups and find out what they're doing really well. But in my work, I help change makers and they want to solve every problem. And I try to just help them say, what's your slice of the problem? And do that well, and you can't solve everything. And at this stage, that's my thought is let go of trying to solve that right now and continue to focus on what you're doing well, because we're all here. This is valuable. Continue to not chase, but follow what's working, and you'll figure out your differentiator. And so that's my thought, and continue to see what evolves.
I appreciate that.
You're reminding me of 2 slogans. One is one day at a time, and the other one is do the next indicated thing. It occurs to me, Denise, that those other networks should be given an invitation to look at the map that's built.
Most of them are on that map.
Yeah, but have they looked at it?
Probably not.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So I am so grateful that you came today. Thank you. I know Fridays can be difficult. To me, they tend to be how do I close out some stuff from the week so that I can not carry all of it forward to the weekend. So I'm just appreciative that you shared this time with us and that you contributed to taking a look at what we're creating and helping us to ensure that what we're creating is valuable to you, because we're not creating it for ourselves, we're creating it for you. And so for those of you who, bye, Paul. Yes. For those of you who are able to stay, we are going to do networking conversations or speed networking.